So, if you've been in academia in a serious way, or you have been in some kind of career in a serious way, you realize that a lot of people, are extremely in need of being brown nosed heavily. I mean, they may kind of affect a faux casualness. In fact, that's almost inevitable. The people who most need to be brown nosed will go out of their way to kind of project a certain bonhomie, or they will try to project themselves as people who are relaxed and casual or some such, and they may wear a ponytail or they may do this or but it's, unless you're really stupid, it is extremely easy to see through. And the question is, who is it that needs to be brown nosed and who is it that does not need to be brown nosed? Here is the answer. The people who really, really, really need to be brown nosed are the people who did a lot of brown nosing themselves. The people who actually did not do too much brown nosing, the people who did not sell out, they may have done, some brown nosing, but they did not fundamentally sell out. They did not eviscerate themselves. Those people are relatively objective and they're relatively secure. People are people, and it never hurts to placate somebody. Everybody likes flattery, and everybody buys it. Okay, everybody. But there's a difference between being a human being who, because he's a human being, appreciates blandishments and is a bit of a sucker for flattery. That's one thing, but it's a very different thing to be someone who has a cavity in his soul, or who is missing his soul or chunks thereof, and needs to be given false praise simply in order to exist. And it is those sorts of people, these people with this emptiness inside them, who really need to be brown-nosed. And when I say brown-nosed, I mean that they actually require submission. The people who do the submitting, precisely because they've actually submitted, they can then go on to be rude. Their personal manner can vary enormously. I mean, I knew people who had just essentially turned themselves into human lapdogs, but because they had done that, they could sort of speak casually with the boss. They could use the word fuck in conversation with him, but only because it didn't mean anything. Only because that person was essentially just, Pinocchio dancing at the end of a string. Just a kind of bobble-headed semblance of a person at that point. And, and then at that point, the boss, or the department chair or whoever, liked it when the people seemed, to a superficial observer, to not be brown-nosing, because he didn't himself want to be reminded of the fact that he needed these husks around him in order to feel halfway normal. Anyway, but so the people who affect this kind of gravitas, this deep sort of seriousness, which is fake, people who do that, they are the people who really, 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 really brown-nose themselves. And the thing is that the brown-nosing that they did is far, far more heinous than anything you can possibly imagine. Here endeth the lesson.